being someone from England, seeing how having coached some of the players on the U.S. Women's National Team, a lot of the discourse is about the arrogance of the U.S. Women's National Team because they've won the last 2 World Cups, and it almost, to me, is like it makes a little sense that they would be arrogant because they just won the last 2 World Cups. But I understand having some level of humility. But I just thought from a tactical level, there weren't those passes inside the box from a midfielder or an attacking midfielder to put pressure on those center backs. Also, we said this a couple episodes ago, there were almost no overlapping runs from the fullbacks to create any pressure on their fullbacks or their center back. So what did it, when just watching the U.S., what did you think were some of the biggest concerns or issues?
So I think for me, the bit that got me was the width of the US national team. I didn't feel like there was a ton of width. I felt like Dunny and Foxy played quite narrow. And I think when your fullbacks play quite narrow, you need to get width off someone else because otherwise the field gets compact and you can't pass to Rose Lavelle in a pocket because there isn't one because the field's so compact. And then you're getting Soph Smith giving that width and Rodman giving that width. Well, it gets them a million miles away from goal and you can't get them the ball. You kind of finding them in places where teams would like them to be, which is down by that corner flag and out the way.
Yeah.
So I think for me, tactically, in my opinion, I think getting width out of your fullback, someone like Sofia Huerta, I know I'm biased, but man, can she give width and cross the ball and pass to people in dangerous areas? And I think what that allows is the midfield then opens up because the fullbacks aren't in there or anywhere near it. And then maybe we can find Rose Lavelle and Lindsay Horan in a seam to play a slip pass to someone because our forwards are a little narrower and closer to goal. So yeah, I think the thing that was needed from me was we need to get some width. We need some width and open this midfield up and give ourselves a chance to get our players in the best positions for them to do what they do best.
Okay, Scott. Well, the one thing I didn't tell you that this is actually your interview for the U.S. Women's National Team coaching position, and you just nailed that question so well.
Yeah, I think I'm a couple of cycles away from that one, but
no, it's a look. It's a thing we talk about a lot, and I think this World Cup for the U.S. Women's National Team and just the U.S. Women's program, it just kind of throws a wrench into what the expectations were and maybe what the future kind of looks like. Obviously, there are players that are going to be leaving, new players that are going to have opportunities, or players that are going to have a bigger role in the future. Given that you've worked with a lot of the players on the U.S. Women's National Team, what's the I mean, I'm sure there isn't necessarily a, being English, working with Americans. I'm sure there's a deep personal kind of feeling of wanting the players to succeed individually, but also wanting maybe your country to do well as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm actually an American citizen now, so I can actually fully.
Let's go.
Let's go. So yeah. Yeah, I'm completely 100% invested in the US program and the federation because it's the federation that's given me the opportunity to do what I do right now. Almost all of my coaching education's been through the US federation, and most of the players that I've coached in our wonderful league, we're going to try and win and compete for the US. So I'm a little bit torn. I don't feel that close to the Lionesses, but I am enjoying seeing what they're doing, seeing the way they're playing. Again, I think Serena's done an unbelievable job. Tactically super flexible. Maybe one other knock on us as a nation here is kind of sticking to that 4-3-3. Yeah. When I seen the double pivot with Sonnet, I was doing backflips. Everyone thinks that's a defensive thing, but it's not. Again, if you've got 2 6s, you can't invert your fullbacks. They need to get away from the midfield and give us a little bit more balance. So yeah, I'm fully invested. But you do have to be careful because obviously on our team right now we've got Angelina, Quinny, and Jordan Heitemer, and I also want the absolute best for them too. So you find yourself like a bit of a soccer dad or a soccer mum, just cheering for everyone. I want everyone to do great.
I just want my kids to have a good time, have fun.
I just want them to have a good time. So yeah, the amount of pride, like I get butterflies just talking about the players, watching them perform, seeing them represent their nations. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, look, we've interviewed a lot of the players that are on the women's national team or at the World Cup in general. And there is definitely after when we interviewed Rose Lavelle right before the 2019 World Cup, I was like, I'm watching my niece succeed at the World Cup. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Rosie's the best, man.